Getting fit has never been bigger business. Gym membership is at an all-time high. Not to mention the avalanche of fitness books, DVDs and apps raking in billions every year.
There's no end of information at our fingertips. Just one search on exercise brings back over 600 million results.
There are armies of transformed bodies all over social media, promising miracle solutions.
I've lost 3 stone in 5 months. It's literally changed my whole life.
3, 2, 1, and have a rest. Well done.
With so much choice, just how do we find out what's the right exercise for you?
Nice, check it out. This is a goal.
In this show, we're going to bust myths.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I don't want to go running because I don't want to wear out my knees and my hip joints, but you're saying the opposite.
Let science do the talking.
What we're going to do today is predict how high your aerobic fitness is.
Uncover secrets.
What do I need to do to get that movie body?
I try and get as low as possible, so about 6% body fat.
And find what's the right exercise for you and your lifestyle.
It's only 45 seconds, but it's a killer, isn't it?
I'm a journalist. For me, it's all about the facts behind the fads. But while I've literally written the book on diets, when it comes to exercise, I haven't got the first clue where to start.
As a blind travel guide to other blind and sighted adventurers, my disability has never held me back from exploring the world. I've jumped from planes, skied some of the world's biggest slopes, and I work out at the gym 3 times a week. Like a lot of us though, I'm stuck in a rut. I don't have a personal trainer, but I do want to find out how to get the best results.
On tonight's show, I'll be interrogating the exercise that's taken the world by storm, HIIT.
Fair to poor. Shut up!
I'll learn what it really takes to get a six-pack by bulking and shredding.
How many calories do you eat a day?
5,000 calories a day.
Oh my God, where the hell does it go?
I think we'll take tree first.
Plus, I'll attempt to downward dog my way towards a better body.
You're 66.
I don't know how you do it.
And I'll uncover the truth about running.
The pressure, it's about 2 times your body weight because your body is designed to take a lot more than that.
The #1 reason that most people say that they don't exercise as much as they'd like to is time.
Yeah, but Amar, what if I told you that the latest exercise trend takes just minutes to do in the gym? Not hours, minutes.
Minutes?
Uh-huh. And it's been called the shortcut to fitness, and it's backed up by science.
HIIT, high-intensity interval training, has taken the country by storm. Joe Wicks, the body coach, is one of its biggest fans. And thousands of people are posting photos of their incredible transformations on the internet.
I lost 3 stone in 5 months. It's literally changed my whole life. If I can do it, I really do think everybody can.
HIIT isn't about fancy equipment. In fact, you don't even need any equipment at all. It can be any exercise routine you like. Squats, steps, boxing, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you're pushing yourself to the max and getting out of breath. And you only need to do that for 45 seconds at a time before getting a 15-second rest. And then you just repeat, repeat, repeat. Alternating the hard work with short rests is so good for you, some scientists now believe it could burn more calories than traditional endurance cardio like cycling or running. But what's the science behind it? The latest research suggests that, just like a car converts petrol into movement, tiny engines called mitochondria inside our body's cells convert food and oxygen into energy. These little engines are constantly working, but when we exercise, our bodies have to create more of them to keep us going. Scientists think that during HIIT, the high-intensity workout trigger a demand for your body to make more of these engines in a shorter period of time. Not only are there more engines, but they're more efficient too. It means you're burning lots of extra calories. But how many extra calories, I hear you ask? Well, a recent study of athletes found that they burned up to 13 calories per minute doing HIIT compared to just 9 calories from running. That's over 40% more.
Well, that's the theory anyway, but can it really work on mere mortals like you and me? I've come to Newcastle to find out if there's any science behind the incredible claims.
But before I find out if HIIT really is as easy as they say, I'm off to get my fitness tested with sports scientist Chris Hurst of Teesside University.
I don't like the look of this because I can see a step,
Yeah.
a heart rate monitor, and your iPad. So what are you going to do?
What we're going to do today is what we call a sub-maximal test to predict how high your aerobic fitness is. That is how good you are at getting oxygen in from the air, getting it to the muscles to burn calories.
I can tell you now, without having to do that, it's not going to be very good.
2-minute stages.
Yeah.
You're going to step up and down in time with the beat.
Yeah.
And at the end of every 2 minutes, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Right, there we go, we're off. 2 minutes.
The step test uses a beep. Every time I hear a beep, I step up or down.
Feel okay?
Yeah. What if I said, what if I said I'm knackered?
Okay.
As the beeps get quicker, I've got to work harder to keep up.
That's 1 minute gone.
God, is that all?
Time flies when you're having fun.
It's basically a modern version of those hideous fitness tests they made us do at school. By measuring how quickly my heart rate responds to this hard work, Chris can calculate my fitness level. Just like a turkey, I'm done.
And how did we feel at the end?
Somewhat hard.
Well done. You can relax, and we'll find out what your results are.
I'll give you this, I'm a little bit hot.
Yeah?
I'll give you that.
Good.
I don't want to jinx it, but I think I may have aced Chris's little test.
So, what we've predicted using this submaximal test is that your aerobic fitness is somewhere between...
Shut up! Fair to poor. So, the diagnosis, doctor, is...
we would like to try and get that a little bit higher, if possible.
I'm disputing the science.
Okay.
Damn it. That's not true.
All is not lost, though. Chris could have trawled Instagram for a group of 20-something gym bunnies to test the merits of HIIT, but he wanted to really challenge its effectiveness. So he recruited a group of out-of-shape over 50s with no exercise experience. Bring on the workout. I've got this nailed.
2, 1. Well done, good. Okay, everybody, so we're going to go for 45 seconds of hard work, then we're going to have a rest for 15 seconds, okay? Whenever you're ready. 2, 1, let's go. Well done. Good, Al, good. Nice big pull down. Good, big push up with the arms as well. Get the arms working. Good. Well done.
I think Chris is enjoying this a bit more than me, and this lot have put me to shame.
Good, Keith, good. Get that bum down. Good, everybody, last few. Keep going. Head up, look forward, everybody.
You don't need a fancy watch or heart rate monitor to figure out if you're working hard enough. You just need to not be able to hold a conversation, which, let's face it, is difficult for me. I like a chat.
It's only 45 seconds, but it's a killer, isn't it? You've not even broken a sweat, you.
How are you feeling, Anna?
Oh, do you know what? It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah? Well, that's good, because it tells us that you're working hard, and that's what it's all about. We need to get the intensity. That's why we have plenty of rests.
Well, look, we know that I need to get my fitness up and better.
Yeah.
These guys have been doing your programme for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So what improvement have you seen in their fitness levels?
So what we've seen, roughly, looking at this graph, is that they've more or less improved by around about 10%, which is quite a big jump. That was twice a week, so not a massive time commitment.
That is very, very impressive.
And those that start at a lower level tend to improve more as well, so it's ideal for people that are less fit.
And all those extra mitochondria engines created during HIIT must mean extra treats, surely.
Keep going. 3, 2, 1.
Well, based on a recent study, you're looking at 19 minutes of HIIT for a chocolate bar, 11.5 minutes for a packet of crisps, or 28.5 minutes for a chicken salad sandwich. But it's good news. These figures are based on people who are already pretty fit. For you and me, the great unfit, the extra effort it takes us means we may even burn more calories in that time. Cha-ching! So is HIIT the right exercise for you? Well, if you're over 50 and unfit, Chris has proved it will work for you. From what I've seen, it's also perfect for time-poor 9-to-5ers, or even busy mums trying to squeeze in exercise around nappy changes and 2 a.m. feeds. The beauty of HIIT is that not only will it save you time, you also won't need an expensive gym membership either, because you can do most of the moves at home with no equipment. If you need something quick and effective, then get hitting. Science says it works. But as with any new exercise regime, check in with your GP first.
If you're anything like me and you just cannot find the motivation to work out alone, then getting together with a friend or joining a team could be just the answer for you.
Research has shown that you're more likely to succeed at the gym with a workout buddy, burning 21% more calories and sticking with a workout for 16% longer. Plus, you're more likely to turn up in the first place. So what's the psychology behind exercising in groups compared to on your own?
I was a demon at netball. Admittedly, it's a couple of years since I left school, but I tell you what, if that is a means to getting fitter and thinner, where's my bib? Sign me up.
Team sports are having a resurgence in the UK. Major campaigns are underway to get women back playing sports like hockey, cricket and netball.
Crikey, it's like I've been back at school. But these aren't schoolgirls. These are the Roos, or the Oxford University netball team.
Jo Adams is the England Netball CEO.
Is there any evidence to suggest that actually you could get fitter and leaner by playing in a team?
Yeah, absolutely. There is so much evidence that says it gets women much more fit. There's lots of cardiovascular evidence. It's absolutely been statistically proven that if you exercise in a team, you're more inclined to keep playing the sport because you don't want to let other women down. So you'll get fitter, you'll lose weight and you'll stick at it for longer.
Time to see how many of the old skills I remember.
I think I can feel total humiliation. I can't even get my arm in the right hole. Okay. Watch this. Ready. Different direction. Whoa! My ankles!
Yellow centre. Jo surveyed adult women who have taken up netball across a 12-month period. Her research found that 97% of them said they saw positive change in their health.
Check it out! This is a goal. Look at you. I've slightly wet myself already.
Jo's results are pretty impressive, but what's the science behind group exercise? The answer may lie on the water in Oxford with a special group of rowers.
I've come to Oxford University to meet the scientists studying these rowers to find out the secrets to their success on the water. And I'm hoping to pick up some tips along the way because, you know, still 4 years until Tokyo. I reckon I could be in.
Lots of us have heard about exercising giving us a natural high. It's caused by the release of endorphins. Endorphins are the body's natural painkillers. Just like opiate drugs such as morphine, these molecules are made by your body to ease pain and give you a buzz from group exercise like rowing.
So what did you discover?
So we did a bit of a social experiment comparing what it's like to row on your own versus what it's like to row with your teammates. And we found that the endorphin release that you get after exercise is actually double or twice as high when you're working out with others as compared to when you're working out on your own.
Aaron's experiment measured the pain felt by rowers before and after exercise, and his results found those in a group got a double dose of endorphins compared to the lone rowers.
So what on earth would explain that then?
Humans evolved in social groups, right? So we sort of have come to rely upon others, and this means that we can push our bodies a bit further and we can be a bit less conservative with our resources, right? So we can maybe go that extra mile or go a bit faster in the boat.
So is it rowing specifically that causes this release of endorphins, or is it any group exercise?
One interesting aspect of rowing is that it is oftentimes done in coordination with others, so this might make us feel a bit more connected to the people we're doing it with. So other sports such as spinning or
Aerobics, step, or anything like that.
exactly, these sort of things leads to these increases in endorphin release.
I've got to admit, working out in a team had a big effect on me, and since then, I've done my first netball class. So if you don't like the idea of being on your own, join a team. I loved it.
If you don't fancy joining a team, you can still reap the benefits by coupling up. One study found that couples who work out separately had a 43% dropout rate, but couples who exercise together only had a 6% dropout rate. If you prefer to work out alone, but still want the team effect, science says you can go digital. A recent study found that if you sign up for a virtual buddy through apps or the internet, you're likely to do 60% more exercise. So as mad as it sounds, picking up your smartphone might just be the first step to fitness.
Coming up, I'm going to reveal how you can burn calories without doing any exercise at all.
And I work up a sweat to uncover the truth about running.
That's 26 stone worth of pressure going through these legs.
It's that time. I'm going to have to mention the C word. I can barely bring myself to cardio. Amar, do you like a bit of cardio in your life?
Oh, I love running. But there's so many warnings about pavement pounding being bad for your knees. How true is that?
Britain loves running. Probably the only thing we like more than running is bragging about it on social media. 3.6 million of us, myself included, have taken part in a fun run, half a marathon or a full marathon during the last year, clocking up 226 million miles, that's 473 trips to the moon and back, whilst at the same time burning off the pounds and transforming our bodies.
I lost 7 stone. If I can do it, anybody can. I'm just a normal mum who's tried her hardest, and that's all you need to do.
When we run, our whole body's off the floor. This motion works a vast array of our muscles. It might be ultra trendy in the age of Instagram, but it's actually our oldest form of exercise. Some scientists think that about 2 million years ago, we evolved to become more natural runners. According to the theory, woodlands changed to grasslands, and our food was no longer close by, so we needed to run longer distances. To meet this new demand, our bodies adapted. Our arms began to swing, our waists narrowed, our back and bum muscles strengthened so that we could stay upright, and our feet changed to provide a spring in our step. From head to toe, there's no doubt our bodies are made for running.
I've come to the Sports Centre at Leeds Beckett University to find out what the real science is behind running, and more importantly, if I'm doing it right.
As we've upped the mileage in our modern day bid for glory on social media, one warning has gotten louder for us runners. All that pavement pounding is damaging our joints like our knees and hips, and we're gonna pay for it in the long run. Dr. Brian Hanley is the sports scientist here in the running lab, and he's the go-to man for injury prevention.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Amber.
Being visually impaired doesn't stop me from running, and I can use a treadmill with a few nifty modifications. Tapping on my cane helps me stay on it, rather than face planting onto it. Never a good look in the gym.
This is a special treadmill because it's got some force plates in underneath the belt.
Right.
So when you run or walk on it, it records the forces, which tell me a little bit about your biomechanics.
Okay, shall we speed it up a little bit then?
Yeah, if you're ready.
Yeah.
I run 3 times a week on a treadmill for 45 minutes, and like any average runner, my feet hit the ground about 500 times for every kilometre I do. That's 2,500 for 5k, 5,000 for a 10k, and a scary 21,000 bone crunches for a marathon. Just how much pressure is that constant pounding having on my legs? Brian's gonna find out.
I think I run funny, Brian.
The first thing I've noticed is that we can hear you, so you've got quite a heavy landing force.
Oh, thanks.
Most people land on their heels, and some people land on the front of the foot, but that's much more rare, and it's usually very, very top athletes. Some people bounce more than others. Some people use their arms more.
Yeah.
So men tend to swing their arms more than women. Everybody's got their own style.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Brian. I didn't realize you were going to make me work.
Well, running is work, and running, that's why it's good exercise.
Yeah, already actually feel a little bit of buzz. This way.
With the treadmill done, Brian wants to compare how I run freestyle on the ground, away from the soft belt.
A little bit more to your left.
His lab has got a magic floor that can measure the force in my legs as I run across it. But without my cane as a guide, it's gonna take some practice.
Just try to run in a straight line now,
Okay.
and I'll stop you if I need to stop you.
Who knew running in a straight line would be my biggest challenge? Practice, as they say though, does make perfect. So how much pressure am I putting my legs under?
Okay, Brian, I've done enough running today. My poor knees are in some pressure today. They've had enough. So what can you tell me?
Yeah, so that was quite an interesting little run you had over the force plates. Quite similar to what we had on the treadmill. So on the graph, I know you can't see, but it's about 2 times your body weight is the peak.
2 times my body weight?
Yes.
Let's see, I'm about 13 stone, Brian. So that means 2 times... that's 26 stone worth of pressure going through these legs.
2 times your body weight is not that much at all. I don't feel...
Really?
Yeah.
26 stones on there?
It's not a lot.
Is it not?
No.
Why?
Well, because your body is designed to take a lot more than that. And the forces you're experiencing in normal life, and that includes going jogging or running, are much less than what your body can take.
2 times your own body weight might sound scary, but our bodies have evolved to safely handle a lot more than that. In fact, our joints can take 5 times our body weight. That means my old knobbly knees can take over 400 kilograms of weight. That's 65 stone.
What bones need especially is compression. Force is where you're getting squashed. That keeps them healthy. This is why, you know, if people get older especially, they're encouraged to do weight-bearing exercise like running because it helps to keep the bones healthy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. One of my friends is about 60, 65, and he doesn't want to go running because he says, I don't want to wear out my knees and my hip joints, but you're saying the opposite.
Yeah, if you don't use them, you lose them. It doesn't have to be massively strenuous exercise. We're not trying to run marathons necessarily,
Yeah.
but exercise is good for you.
So why all the running injuries then? Brian says that the vast majority of injuries are down to us doing too much, too soon. Our muscles need time to recover between runs. When we start to do too many runs before our muscles have had a proper chance to recover, we end up damaging them. So it's not a case of running being bad for us. Sometimes we're just bad at running.
And if you're wondering about the calorie burn from running, it's estimated the average person burns about 160 calories per kilometre. And as a general rule of thumb, a pound of fat equates to burning about 3,500 calories. So, roughly, you're talking about running 56 kilometres to lose a pound in weight. That's London to Southend-on-Sea. And remember, many say that losing weight is 80% diet and 20% exercise. And no matter what cardio exercise you choose, you just can't outrun a bad diet.
So, is running the right exercise for you? Well, your body's born to do it. But I can tell you from experience, if you want to get any good at it, expect to give up a lot of your free time. Long distance training for something like half a marathon needs up to 3 hours a week. So if you can't commit that time, then it's probably not the one for you. If you're a newbie, consult your GP and download a free app like the NHS recommended Couch to 5K. It will safely help you build up to running 5 kilometres in just 9 weeks for about 20 minutes a day.
I know what you're thinking. Team sports freaks you out, and let's face it, running's just too much like hard work. But what if I told you that it has been scientifically proven that you can burn calories by doing absolutely nothing at all.
NEAT stands for Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis, which basically means exercise that you don't even realise you're doing. Everyday tasks that could help you burn up to 350 extra calories a day. Here's our top 10.
And number 10 is exactly what you're doing now. Watching telly burns 12 calories every 15 minutes. That's because just to keep us alive, our bodies burn a certain number of calories every day. It's called our basal metabolic rate.
At 25 calories for a quarter of an hour's work, next up is ironing. Great for working those guns.
In at number 8 is vacuuming, which racks up 50 calories.
Followed closely by sex. A 15-minute tumble in the sheets could see you burn 54 calories. But given the average British session lasts just 5 minutes, we've all got a bit more work to do.
But you can burn more calories by shopping. Grabbing your groceries can earn you 58 calories per session. Just don't undo the hard work by filling your trolley with junk.
Coming up, I'll reveal the number 1 way you can burn calories by doing no exercise at all.
You could add an extra 128 calories to your daily tally.
An eye into the world of fitness modelling to work out what it really takes to get a six-pack.
How many times a week do you go to the gym?
Between once or twice a day.
Now, back to our What's the Right Exercise for You Top 10 countdown. If you're anything like me, you're looking for a shortcut to fitness, so NEAT might be just the one for you. It's the exercise you don't even realise you're doing. We've already heard how good watching telly, ironing, hoovering, bonking and shopping is for you. Now here comes the top 5. If you're after something gentle, taking a short walk could see you bank 62 calories.
But playing with the kids will earn you a few more than that, about as much in fact as a very small glass of post-bedtime story wine, or 74 calories.
In at number 3 is washing the car, 84 calories for 15 minutes.
At number 2, it's dancing. I know, we don't all do it at home, but we should, because it could help you burn an extra 102 calories.
And finally, in at number 1, no surprise here, it's taking the stairs. If you ditch the lift, you could add an extra 128 calories to your daily tally. There's no arguing with that.
When it comes to getting fit, the six-pack is the holy grail. And a recent study of a decade's worth of men's health covers found that almost 60% of them featured a six-pack. It turns out that when it comes to getting abs of steel, you first need to get your head round a scary-sounding combination of exercise and diet called bulking and shredding. With over 1.8 million posts about bulking on Instagram and over 750,000 on shredding, this extreme way of life is not for the faint-hearted. But for those who are absolutely dedicated to the body beautiful, it can pay real dividends.
At my heaviest, I was over 21 stone, massively obese. After 6 months, I was 12.5 stone. I think if you've got the willpower, absolutely anyone can do it. They just have to want to.
So how are muscles like your six-pack made in the first place? The muscles in our bodies are made up of fibres, like ropes. Exposing the muscles to stress by lifting weights creates tiny tears in the fibres. This tearing sends signals to the body that it needs repair. Your body uses protein from food to fill in those tears, which in turn makes your muscles bigger and stronger. So lift weights, eat protein, get a six-pack. Sounds simple, I suppose, but what's really involved on a day-to-day basis, and is it worth the hard work? Before taking on six-packs, I want to know more about bulking, and I've come to St Mary's University in Twickenham to meet bodybuilder and fitness model Jack. He's currently in a period of bulking, eating lots to pack on the pounds, which he then turns to muscle by lifting heavy weights.
What percent body fat are you at the moment?
I'm about 12% at the moment.
What do you want to aim for?
I try and get as low as possible, so about 6% body fat.
6% body fat is low. For men, a recommended body fat range is between 8 and 22%. We tend to carry our excess fat around the tummy. For women, it's between 21 and 34%, with any excess fat likely to be stored around the hips.
How many calories do you eat a day?
I'll try and aim for between 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day.
Wow. The recommended amount is what? 2,500 for men?
Yes.
And 2,000 for women?
So I'm
by
eating
the
roughly
NHS?
double the NHS's standard guidelines.
To meet his 5,000 calorie a day intake, Jack's weekly shopping list is quite something. 42 eggs, 37 chicken breasts, 30 rashers of bacon, 4 kilos of potatoes, 2 kilos of pasta, 14 bags of rice, 20 bagels, 1.5 kilos of porridge, a large bag of kale, a large bag of peas, a large bag of spinach, 4 pots of pasta sauce, and protein shakes. Does the diet work? Time to feel for a six-pack.
I'm thinking that you're a big, chubby fella. Do you mind if I just feel your stomach? Because, oh my God, where the hell does it go? Could do this because I love eating cakes and donuts and Mackie D's and...
But Omar, if you look at the quality of this food, there's not much what we would call junk in there. It's all minimally processed, good quality foods, and that's important so that Jack's getting all of his nutrients.
To eat this, shouldn't you be eating right now? I mean, I've taken up 5 minutes of your time.
I missed 3 meals in that time.
5,000 calories might sound terrifying, but Jack needs the fuel. His bulking regime calls for 2 hours of weight training, twice a day, 6 days a week.
I'll try and train each body part twice a week.
How much weight do you put on this normally?
Well, for today, how about we put on 100 kilos?
Right, here goes. Bloody hell, that's heavy in itself. Oh, right, this is not cool. It's not really that heavy, honest.
And for those of us who still work in old money, 100 kilos is over 15 stone.
And a lot of people, when they go into gyms and they hear men grunting, it just seems so aggressive. I mean, are you guys aggressive?
I like to think we're pretty friendly.
Are you?
I'd like to think so. I'll still give you a cuddle.
Oh. Hey, they're not bad, eh? Are they all like you then?
Oh, there's no one like me.
A bulking lifestyle like Jack's, with his 5,000 calories a day and twice daily trips to the gym for 2 hours, it can take up to a year and most of your free time. And once the bulking's done, next comes the shredding. Billy D's been bulking up for the last 4 months and is now shredding the fat away to reveal the muscles underneath. Here comes the six-pack.
What percent body fat are you at the moment?
At the moment, I'm 15% body fat.
Which is well below the recommended range of 21 to 34% for females. Compared to Jack's weekly food shopping, Billy D's is practically non-existent.
This is your food for the week. A lot of rabbit food, isn't there?
Salad, broccoli, sweet potatoes, lots of chicken.
How many calories a day do you eat?
1,600, which is pretty low.
Do you find that like you eat and then you're still hungry?
Yeah.
I mean, that must be hard.
Yeah, you kind of just accept and understand that you've got a calorie deficit and you're going to be that little bit hungry, and it's just resisting.
1,600 calories is hardly a crash diet, especially when people drop down to 500 during the 5-2. But Billy D's not just sitting around at home doing nothing.
You cutting back on the exercise because you're not eating as much?
I incorporate some low-intensity cardio and start off with a little bit of HIIT sessions just to get that fat-burning process going.
As part of her shredding regime, Billy D hits the gym 6 times a week. And as well as weightlifting for an hour, she also does 50 minutes of cardio to burn off that fat and has a perfect six-pack to show for it.
Is there any no-nos when you're at the shredding stage?
I would clear out your cupboard full of junk food, for starters. Alcohol as well. You need to make some sacrifices and give that a miss for a little while.
Wow, so alcohol is actually that bad?
It's the source of what we call empty calories.
Right.
So those calories don't have any nutritional value like the foods in front of us here. And the other thing that alcohol does, it essentially turns your fat-burning tap off.
Your body doesn't store alcohol in the same way as it does fat. It has to burn the calories from the alcohol first while it's in our system, essentially prioritising the calories from the booze before the ones available from carbs, protein and fat.
If you go out for an evening, you could drink your daily allowance in terms of calories, and that's added to, obviously, your body fat stores over time.
Understand why you don't drink alcohol. It all makes sense.
So if you want that six-pack, it's no alcohol, 2 trips to the gym a day, and a food bill to bankrupt a small nation. Getting a body like Zac Efron is sounding like hard work, but in for a penny, in for a pound. How far away from a six-pack is a 42-year-old lounge lover from Leeds like me?
What percentage of body fat should I be aiming for? Should I be aiming for 0%?
0% is actually not possible, and nor would we want to get you down to even close to that. The body does need some fat, and it's called essential fat. So if you just want to take a step in.
Are you sure it's safe?
100% safe, yeah. There's even an emergency switch there in case you get panicked.
Right, okay. Oh my God, it's so small in here.
Okay, I'm going to close the door now.
Paul's machine uses tiny changes in air pressure inside the chamber to work out the density of different parts of my body. Muscle is much denser than fat, so this allows Paul to calculate how much is muscle and how much is fat. We've all got a six-pack, honestly, but to stand any chance of seeing it, your body fat, that's the stuff covering it, needs to be as low as possible.
Excellent. I was just getting used to that now.
We're all done, brilliant. So if you want to take a step out, we can get changed now.
So tell me, how bad's the damage?
So your body fat is 24.3%, which is not too bad. It's only just over the healthy category, which is 22% for someone of your age group.
So is it that bad then, 2%?
No, that's quite easy to modify and get that down into the healthy range through a combination of diet and exercise.
Is there a certain percentage I need to get down to of body fat to start showing people my hidden six-pack, which has been hidden for many years?
As a rule of thumb, around 12% before we start to see the six-pack muscle, but it can vary depending on where someone stores their fat.
So I've got to half my body fat percentage to get to that stage?
But does that mean saying goodbye to some of my favourite foods? Bulking and shredding is probably not for me. And by default, neither is a six-pack like Zac Efron. But is bulking and shredding the right exercise for you? Having witnessed the extreme commitment firsthand, I have to say, this is a lifestyle choice as much as it is a fitness regime. And it's probably best suited to fit young things who've got a lot of time on their hands, who are happier down at the gym than at the pub on a Friday night. Just check with your GP before you get started.
Coming up, I attempt to downward dog my way to a better body.
Okay. I expect a wet mat after a yoga practice.
Did you hear that, everyone? Wet mat.
There's no arguing strength training gets your muscles strong and toned and is brilliant at helping your body age well. But does it all have to be heavy lifting and grunting down the gym? It turns out the science behind our last exercise would disagree. Yoga. Once the fitness of choice for tie-dye clad hippies, it's now one of the fastest growing exercise trends in the UK, with over 30,000 classes every week. It's had a total image overhaul and is all the rage on social media. 300 hours of video, over 48,000 Instagram photo uploads a minute, and over 1 million selfies a day. And everybody from Matthew McConaughey to Lady Gaga are downward dogging their way around Tinseltown. But is yoga really a form of exercise at all? Well, according to its followers, it is indeed, with people claiming it's helped them lose weight and fight everything from addiction to depression. But where did it come from? Yoga originated as a spiritual practice over 5,000 years ago on the Indian subcontinent, concentrating on controlling the mind rather than the body. But early in the 20th century, Europeans and Americans, with their love of bodybuilding and gymnastics, decided to emphasise the physical side of yoga. And the middle-class craze, as we know it today, was born. Yoga works by strengthening your core muscles, such as your abdomen, back and bum muscles, as well as your thighs and shoulders. These muscles work together as your body stabilises. The theory goes that a strong core will help you to stand taller and look leaner, plus help you avoid illnesses and old age like arthritis. But I'll be honest with you, I'm a yoga skeptic.
When it comes to exercise, the first rule is normally no pain, no gain. So can yoga, with its omming and ahhing and its gentle spirituality, really give me Giselle's abs or Madonna's arms?
I've come to a special class in Oxford to find out.
And push back into child's pose.
I can't see any sandals or yoghurt yet, which is a good thing, but you never can tell.
Catherine Huck isn't just a yoga instructor, she's also a physiotherapist with over 16 years' experience working in musculoskeletal therapy.
Tiptoe forwards, okay.
She uses clinical yoga to treat referrals from GPs.
Bottom out behind you and feel that the upper back really has to work hard.
Sorry to interrupt. Hello. Keep that position, guys. I'm relieved to see that there's no joss sticks in here.
No.
Do you think they should just drop the pose?
I think they
now?
can drop the pose. Go into your sun salutation and then take child's pose.
So is it okay if I join in? Because that looks like quite an easy pose.
Yes, that's an easy pose, but first of all, I would just like to have a look at what body type you are and what you need from yoga. Let's go and do an assessment.
I can tell you that body type is just fat. Is that all you need to know?
No.
Before I can unleash my inner warrior on the class, Catherine wants to assess my core muscles. And, like me, you should consult a healthcare professional before starting any new exercise.
So first of all, I'm just looking at the way you stand, so just stand normally. So that looks great, your posture's pretty good, your earlobe's over your shoulder, which over your hips, maybe hips go forward just slightly too much. Now I want you to touch your toes. Okay, so I'm going to look at how long your hamstrings are. So what's happened right now is your knees are flicked back.
Yes.
So we're going to get you to bend forwards. You can see that little shake.
Yeah.
Okay, but being very careful your knees don't flick back. That's really nasty.
Oh,
Okay.
is it really?
Oh, horrible.
When your knees bend back too much like mine, it's called hyperextension. It's not good and can lead to instability or injury of the knee joint.
So what else do you want to
Right,
look at? You can see
okay.
that I hyperextend my knees.
Yeah, so
my
you're
core's a bit
quite.
wobbly.
Can I just take your hand?
You may.
So I know as a physiotherapist that's very joint lax.
Is that good or bad?
It needs controlling. Okay, but you want to make sure you're strong enough so that your joints aren't getting too much friction.
Okay.
That's right. So we need to get you nice and strong.
Yeah.
I do not want you getting your joint laxity any greater than it already is. So let's have a look how strong your core is. I think that's the.
I think I can tell you that.
So I'm just going to get you to come down onto all fours. Let's just have a look at we'll just see how you feel in a plank. So just take a plank.
The world record for holding a plank is just over 8 hours. Let's just say I think that record is safe for now.
Yeah, not good. So we want just a little softness. You're working really hard here.
A recent study found the majority of us can't touch our toes. So a yoga class might be the answer to our national stiffness.
Okay, so you're going to join the class.
Okay.
Great. So let's get you a place here. So.
Do you have to learn that flick as well?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Okay.
This lady's super bendy. How old are you?
66.
You're 66?
Yes.
I think we'll take tree first. Best thing to do is just to start by putting the foot on the calf. And can you feel that little shake? Now, as your core strength gets better, that's also going to get better. So a great thing to practice at home, waiting for the kettle. If you're cleaning your teeth, you can do it in tree. It's really good to just weave these things into life and not just do them in a class.
The average Brit spends 24 minutes a day waiting for the kettle and about 4 brushing teeth. That's 170 hours a year. You too could be practicing your wobbling like me.
So we'll take Warrior 2, the right foot at the front of the mat and the left foot parallel with the back of the mat. And then take your arms nice and long. Open your right knee as wide as you can. Yes. Are you now getting a stretch on the inner thigh? Well done. And that little shake is your core, so that will get steadier the more you hold it. Can you feel the pull in the hamstrings now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to lift the left leg. Are you all right? Okay, so.
I don't know how you do it.
I'm genuinely surprised by how difficult yoga is and can confirm it's definitely an exercise. But will it give me a bod to rival Giselle Bundchen?
So, Catherine, can I lose weight doing this?
You're not burning a lot of calories, but what you are doing is building muscle that will make your metabolic rate higher just on a day-to-day basis as you walk around, as you're doing anything. So there is calorific output during a yoga class, but not in the same way as if you went for a run.
But actually, just having done 3 poses, I'm knackered.
Yes, and during a whole class, you maybe will do 100 postures. I expect a wet mat after a yoga practice.
You don't hear that every day, do you?
No.
Did you hear that, everyone? Wet mat.
So look, if you're after an exercise to help you lose weight, I'm not sure yoga's the one for you. But if you're like the average Briton who spends 9 hours a day sitting down, then the chances are you need some yoga in your life so you won't seize up.
There are loads of free apps out there to help you get started, and the NHS even have their own online programme that you can do at home.
So, whatever your way of life, whether you've got lots of spare time on your hands or very little, there's an exercise that's right for you.
And if you can only do a little bit, that's okay. It doesn't have to be scary exercise either. You could do a few minutes of HIIT, you could take the stairs, or you could buddy up with a friend, because science says it'll make you happier. When it comes to exercise, it all helps.
Next Tuesday from 8, 6 dieters who lost 80 stone between them. Did the bickies creep back in? Super slummers, did they really keep the weight off? Tomorrow night from 10, Damien Hirst doodles how much? A brand new run for Sarah Beanie and her dealers waiting patiently in their respective 4 rooms. A&E next tonight, and the heroic life story of a war veteran.